Hello everyone, this is Kalpana. Welcome back to Engineering Mechanics. In the last classes, in the last previous 2-3 classes, we discussed about introduction about the engineering mechanics, and as well as we also discussed about system of forces, how the different forces are classified as a system of forces, that also we discussed, and also we identified the resultant between the two forces by using the parallelogram law. Okay. So, these are the different concepts we discussed in the last class. So, all basic concepts are completed. Today we are going to discuss about an important thing in the engineering mechanics, that is particle equilibrium. I think we completed the definitions of equilibrium and what is mean by resultant and what is mean by equilibrant in the last classes, right. Just let's recall once again what is mean by equilibrium of a body. So, here we in engineering mechanics all components we are discussed about the particles and rigid bodies, right. So, whenever the body is in the rest condition, we will consider the body is in the static state. Okay. Whenever the body is having the somewhat little bit motion, we will consider the body is under the motion, right. So, based on that we have to decide whether the body is in equilibrium or not, whether the body is in the state of rest condition or motion. So, we have to define based on the conditions, based on the application of the forces, right. So, in today's class again let us recall about equilibrium. So, and also what is meant by the particle equilibrium. So, equilibrium is nothing but whatever the type of the body. Suppose for example, let us take here any type of the body here. Suppose this is the one tower. Okay. So, here in this tower, so which is acting as a static body. So, that means there is no motion. So, just it is a static body. So, due to wind, suppose a large wind will comes like this. Due to wind, the position of this static condition which will be falls like this. So, even though we will call it as a static body. So, that means there is no motion in the body. So, due to the wind force also the state of the straight position will be turned to the somewhat inclination position. Okay. So, that will be nothing but static position of a body. So, therefore, there is no moment in that tower, right. So, that is why we are calling it as a static equilibrium. So, here I want to define equilibrium. Equilibrium is nothing but whatever the type of forces which are acting on a body, even though the forces are acting on a body, the body should be remains in a state of rest or motion position. So, that means the sum of all the vectorial forces which are acting on the body should be 0, that will be treated as the equilibrium, Therefore, the sum of all the forces, which will be equals to 0. So, that will be treated as the equilibrium. Suppose the forces which are acting on a particle, so that will be treated as a particle equilibrium. So, I will tell the one most example here. Suppose this is the particle. Okay. So, here this is the particle. Suppose here the 10 kilonewtons load which is acting in this direction, x direction. Okay. So, here what will happen if there is no other force here, the particle will goes on like this. Okay. There is no other force which is stopped to this particle, right. Suppose here again to opposite direction of in this x direction, again another 10 kilonewton force is acting. So, what will happen? The two forces which are coming like this on the particle. Therefore, what will happen? The sum of all the vectorial algebraic sum of all the forces, that is summation of F bar equals to 10, which is going to forward direction, we will take the plus 10. So, which is coming back side, we will take the negative direction. Therefore, 10 minus 10 should be 0. Therefore, the particle should be in the 0 position. Therefore, whatever the type of the forces which are acting on the body, even though whether the body in a state of rest condition or it is in the motion condition, but the whatever the forces we are applying on the body, the vectorial algebraic sum of all the forces should be 0, then only we will consider the body is under equilibrium. So, here this is the, we have taken the particle as the example, therefore, we will call it as the particle equilibrium. So, here I want to discuss about this particle equilibrium in 2 dimensions and 3 dimensions. So, we all know that in case of 2D. So, 2D is nothing but how we will write. So, this is the 2 dimensional. So, whenever the 2 dimensional, let us take this is the x direction and this is the y direction. So, I want to define the 2D particle equilibrium. So, here this is the, we have the only 2 directions, one is the x direction and another one is the y direction, right. So, in this case I want to represent the equations, particle equilibrium equations in the 2 dimension. So, let us write, so summation of fx equals to 0, comma summation of fy equals to 0. That means all the forces which are acting on the x direction should be 0 and all the forces which are acting in the y direction should be 0. Therefore, then the 2 dimensional body of a particle which is in the equilibrium condition. But here I just given fx and fy, right. So, which indicates that the body is in the static condition. So, static condition or is nothing but here only we are applying the forces, okay. So, we did not represented the magnitude, right. So, therefore, we will, so whenever only we are not representing the magnitude, only we are representing the direction, that will be called as the scalar quantities. In the last class also we discussed about this. So, scalar quantities is nothing but only here we will represent the, okay, one item. So, that means the best example length. So, length we will represent in the centimeters, right. So, that is the length is the scalar quantity. Time we will represent in case of that seconds, okay. So, therefore, time is the scalar quantity. So, this is the scalar quantity equation. Suppose I want to represent the equilibrium of a body in vector condition. So, vector is nothing but, so whenever we are representing the body in case of vectorial representation, so the body which is having the both magnitude and as well as the direction. Suppose here I represented x direction, which is the magnitude is having the 7 kilonewtons. That means in the x direction one force which is acting with the 7 kilonewtons load, and similarly in the y direction also with the 7 kilonewtons load which is going to the y direction. Then I define the how much force is going and in which direction it is going I have represented. That means both magnitude I represented and also direction I represented. So, that quantity will be called as vector quantities. If we only represent the direction, okay, any one quantity, so that will be treated as the scalar quantity. So, suppose if I want to represent in the vectorial representation, so therefore, the particle equilibrium is summation of the all the forces in x direction which is having the I plus fy into j is the vector. So, that means both magnitude and direction. So, this will be treated as the, this will be vectorial representation, vectorial sum of all the forces should be 0, that is the particle equilibrium in 2D. Suppose if it is 3D, what will happen? One more direction will be included, right. So, here if it is the 3D, we will include one more direction, that is the z direction. So, that means if the particle equilibrium which will be in the 3 dimensions, therefore, here we will include the one more direction, that is the z representation. That means it is a 3 dimensional object or 3 dimensional particle. Therefore, on that time we can write the one more equation, summation fz equals to 0. Similarly, here in vectorial representation I can write f x I bar plus fy j is the vector plus fz into k is the vector. So, this is the vectorial representation of the 3D particle. So, if it is 2D, only we have the length and width, right. If it is the 3D, it is having the length, width and as well as the height also. So, therefore, we will represent the body's particle equilibrium. So, in 2D or 3 dimensional, if it is 3D x, y, z, if it is 2D x and y directions. So, particle equilibrium is nothing but just I am defining that again, redefining again. So, here whatever the type of the forces which are acting on a particle or on a body, okay, whenever it may be in a state of rest condition or it in a moving condition, but whatever we applied the forces, that all the forces, the sum of vectorial, all the vectorial of all the forces should be 0. That means R equals to 0. So, that will be called as the body will be in under the equilibrium condition. So, based on this particle equilibrium in 2D and 3D, in the last class we discussed about the parallelogram law also. In that law also what we discussed, two forces P and Q which are moving in the two different directions. So, we defined, we concluded the, we identified the resultant between the two forces. So, therefore, so that is the identifying the resultant, but here in case of this particle equilibrium, here we are introducing the one more force in order to get the body into the equilibrium condition. So, this is all about the particle equilibrium in case of the 2D and in case of the 3D. Next I want to discuss about one more topic which is related to this only. So, that is the resolution of the forces. So, resolution of the forces, what is mean by resolution of the forces? What is mean here I can say resolution of forces is nothing but, so we have the different types of force systems like coplanar forces we have, concurrent forces we have, coplanar concurrent forces we have, non-coplanar, non-concurrent, so non-parallel. So, different types of force systems we have, we discussed in the last class, previous class, right. So, here whatever the type of the forces which are acting in the any plane. So, coplanar is nothing but all the forces which are acting on the same plane, and concurrent is nothing but in the same plane from the same point, right. So, here whatever the type of the coplanar forces are concurrent forces, so whatever the type of the force, we need to resolve the forces in 2 directions or 3 directions. So, that will be treated as the resolution of the forces. So, let us discuss about Lami's theorem, okay, and triangle law of forces. So, like parallelogram law and polygon law and another one is the Lami's theorem. So, these are the 3 important concepts which we can touch in engineering mechanics. So, to identify to resolve the forces in the different directions. So, first of all, triangle law of forces. What is mean by triangle law? Similarly, like parallelogram law, we discussed 2 forces are going in the 2 directions, we do not know the resultant. So, suppose if the one force is going like this, x direction, if it is going like this, how far it will go? So, until unless we have to stop at some point, right. So, that is why we have introduced the one more force, that is the resultant. So, that is about the parallelogram law. Here also triangle law of forces is nothing but, here if the 3 forces are acting from the 3 different directions. So, suppose for example, one force which is acting F1 like this direction and one force which is acting in this direction, or else we can say this is F1, F2, F3. So, 3 forces are going in the 3 different directions. I want to conclude these forces with the body should be in the equilibrium. I want, that means here from this point one force is going like this, one force is going like this, one force is going like this. So, the body is not in under the equilibrium condition. Now, I want to bring this body into the equilibrium condition, that means the sum of all the resultant forces should be 0. How I will denote? So, I will take the one force F1 like this, F2 like this. For these 2 forces, these 2 forces are going in these 2 directions. Oppositely, I am introducing the one more force F3 which is in the form of the triangle. So, in order to get the body into the equilibrium condition. So, that means one force which is going like this and coming like this, which is meeting here at the point F2. Therefore, the forces should be, the body should be in the equilibrium. Okay. Suppose if it is the if it is 8 kilonewtons, if it is 4 kilonewtons, again if it is 4 and here 8 minus 8 should be 0. Therefore, the body is in the equilibrium condition. So, this is nothing but triangle law. So, triangle law of the forces is nothing but resolving the forces, that means in order to get the body in equilibrium condition. Therefore, here whenever the three forces are acting in the form of a triangle, we have to keep the body in equilibrium, or else whenever the three forces are acting in the three different directions, in order to get the equilibrium condition, we are applying the one more force to opposite to the another two directional forces. So, that is called as the triangle law of the forces. So, this is the under the resolution of the force. Another one, polygon law. So, polygon law is nothing but here number of forces, here F1, F2, F3, this is the F4 and this is the F5 and this is the F6. Any number of forces are acting from the coplanar concurrent point. Coplanar concurrent point is nothing but acting on the same line, okay, from the same point. So, but the having the different directions, right. So, that is nothing but coplanar concurrent forces. So, here also n number of forces are acting at any point, okay. We have to introduce at the last force that should be in the opposite direction, that will be called as the polygon law. Suppose here these are the different force systems. From here these are the 6 forces. So, this is the force 1 and this is the force F2, this is the force F3 and this is the force F4 and this is the force F5, and the last force, it must be opposite to the all the forces. So, the representation of the sixth force should be like this, therefore, it satisfies the polygon law. So, n number of forces, any number of forces are acting from at a point, but the last force whatever we are introducing, that last force should be opposite to the remaining other forces, that is nothing but polygon law. And one more is there, Lami's theorem. This is the most important one. So, here Lami's theorem is nothing but, this is the force F1 and this is the force F2 and this is the force F3. So, these are the forces, 3 forces acting in the 3 directions. So, let us take, this is alpha, this is beta and this is the gamma. So, these are the 3 different angles. So, if the 3 forces are acting from the same point in different directions, their cosine angles are acting opposite to the each and every side. So, directly we can represent F1 by sin beta, this is the opposite, okay, sin beta, that is equals to F2 by sin gamma, that is F3 by sin alpha. So, that means any 3 forces are acting from the same point, okay. So, the other 2 forces are acting as a cosine angles. So, that is nothing but Lami's theorem. So, therefore, F1 by sin beta, that is equals to F2 by sin gamma, that is equal to F3 by sin alpha, which will be represented as, okay, Lami's theorem. So, these are the 3 different methods which we are using in engineering mechanics to identify to find the resolution of the forces in n number of directions. One more is there, that is the resolution of the forces in 2 directions, coplanar concurrent forces, that we will discuss in the next class, okay. So, but today based on this Lami's theorem, I want to solve one problem. So, that is the problem here. So, the resultant of the 2 forces P and Q, which is given as 200 newtons. So, this is the P which is going like this and this is the Q which is going like this, okay. So, here the 2 forces P and Q, in between that P and Q, the resultant is 200 newtons. So, and it makes an angle 30 degrees. So, but this 30 degrees we did not take in, this is in the x direction only, okay. So, here now determine the magnitude of P and Q. Now, how much P is acting and how much Q is acting, we need to identify. But we do not know, but this total here on the x axis, we know that the total angle is 180 degrees, right. So, based on this 180 degrees, I can know that from this triangle OAB, the total angle is 180 degrees, that 180 minus here to here, in between the OA to
OB they given 55 and here 40. So 55 degrees minus 40 degrees. So how it will be? Then total 95. 95 means how? Remaining is 85 degrees. Therefore, the opposite angle is 85 degrees. Here we identified. Therefore, directly we can apply this formula. So then we can identify the magnitude of how much P is acting and how much Q is acting exactly. Therefore, here we can write, so that is OA. So that is OA by opposite angle is 85, right? So sin 85, that again AB or BA or else OB. So OB opposite is 40. So therefore OB divided by sin OB opposite. What is the opposite angle of OB? So 40 degrees, right? So therefore sin 40 degrees, that is equals to AB, that AB divided by, or else BA, we will write BA because the direction is like this, right? So BA is sin 55 degrees. We know that OA is given as the value is 200, right? So 200 divided by sin 85 degrees, that is equals to OB. OB ante entandi ikkada P. So here P divided by sin 40, that is equals to Q divided by sin 55. Now solving this equation, like suppose this is these two equations one time and these two equations another time. So when we solve directly we will get P equals to, so how much we will get? 200 divided by sin 85 into sin 40. So whatever the value we will get, this is the value of P. Okay. So use your calculators and calculate what is the value of P. Okay. And Q equals to, again how we will solve? 200 into 200 divided by sin 85 into sin 55. Therefore, here with using the calc we will get the value of Q. So this is the these are the methods, whether it may be Lami's theorem or triangle law of forces or polygon law of forces. So mainly we will use to identify the magnitudes and directions and as well as the whatever the angles also. So these are the methods which we will use in the particles or in the bodies, whether it may be in the static equilibrium or it may be in the dynamic equilibrium, but our ultimate aim is in order to identify the magnitude and as well as the whatever the angles. Okay. So included angles. So this is all about the particle equilibrium in 2D and 3D and as well as the resolution of the forces by using the triangle law, polygon law and Lami's theorem. So in the next class we will discuss about the resolution of the forces. Thank you.